Hey guys, welcome to the second Project Zeds development video log. It's been a while since I did the last one, so I figured I'd do a new one and show you all the great things that have happened since the last video. The first thing you may have noticed is that this video started with music. That's because a very nice person from the internet called Spencer Bambrick went ahead and created a theme song for Project Zeds. So, yeah, there's now music, and I think it fits the game awesome, and thank you very much, Spencer, for creating that. The next thing that has changed is probably less noticeable, but I've done massive code refactoring of the AI for the zombies and the commanders and all that kind of stuff. I've also squashed a whole bunch of bugs that were there in the build before. But those are kind of the things you don't really notice, so I'm going to skip over those and go on to the next thing, which are, there are now bases for both the humans and the zombies. The humans have this great creepy old church thing that still needs a lot of love, but it's in the game and it works, it's there. And then the zombies have their graveyard where they keep spitting out an endless, horde of zombies. Next thing that's new is the city that we play in is no longer a single street with some houses piled onto it. It is now a full city that is changeable at any moment's notice because I wrote code to make the city procedural. So things like roads branch off and create intersections and all that kind of stuff, and it happens at a moment's notice. I can go into the controls for the city generator. I can change the number of streets I want. I can change eventually I'll be able to change what kind of buildings I want, things like that, but right now I only have one building, so it just does it once. But where it puts the buildings, whether or not the buildings have trees in the front yard, whether or not it's whatever color the buildings turn out, that's all procedural, and it runs the second I hit play, and it builds a pretty good city pretty quickly. And so I'm kind of proud that that's working, so it means that I'm less infuriated by playing the same map over and over again. I have a little bit of variety. On top of that, the buildings that spawn the zombies can now be blown up, which is great. There's dynamite in the game, and the player can throw dynamite and blow buildings up and stop the zombies from being able to take over the entire map. I mentioned earlier that buildings can have trees. That's because there are now trees. Just another prop that I threw into the game. That are kind of Dr. Seussian, but they fit the kind of aesthetic I'm going for in the game. I also mentioned that I changed the AI of the zombie commander, which means there's now a zombie commander. So there's a way to win the game for the humans now. All you have to do is find the zombie commander, kill him. The AI for the zombie commander is still super weak. I've been working a lot more about getting AI for the what would be the controller, the guy who would be playing as the zombies, right? Instead of getting kind of AI down at the microscopic level, I want one big brain telling everything where to go. So that's currently in the progress. But yeah, I think that's most of it for now. The zombie commander is Baron Samity, who I've written quite a few posts on because he's been absolutely driving me crazy. But I've spent way too much time on him, so I've just kind of shoved him into the game as is. His animations and his skeleton and his texturing and all of that is horrible. But he's there. So I decided to stop trying to make him perfect and just get him in the game as soon as possible. And then later, once the game's more playable, to go back, pull him out, and maybe either fix him so that he's a character I would want in the game, or just replace him with a different character. And I haven't completely made up my mind on that situation yet. But he's in there now, and that means there's a way for the humans to win. So, game is getting closer and closer to being a playable prototype. Fingers crossed. But yeah. So I think that's about it for this update. Once again, thanks to Spencer Bambrick for the music that was at the beginning of this episode. I should have a link somewhere in the text below this, so you can check out the rest of the stuff. And that's about it. Until next time when I show you more.